Hey everyone, so today we are going to be making stockings, or more over the course of the next week. I am at my grandma's house. She has an amazing sewing room, and so we are going to spend some time together. She's gonna kind of watch my toddler, and we're gonna make some Christmas stockings. So hopefully this can come to life. I'm cutting out these little equilateral triangles. This is about what I have done so far. It is much more tedious than I think I ever anticipated it being, but that's okay. So I'm hoping for, at least while my kids are little, these can be kind of fun. I'm hoping to put a pocket on the front that I think would be really fun for, like, maybe putting a candy cane in, or if I get like a little stuffy, put that in there. Just like another little element to the stocking to kind of make them special. So that's the vision. Hopefully we can make it. I'm cutting 4 layers of fabric at a time, so I'm getting 4 triangles out of every cut. So growing up, we had, I believe they were cross-stitched stockings that my mom made when she was pregnant, and they had just amazing detail on them. And I believe mine was like a little girl's room, so it had like a dollhouse and I don't know, like all little girl toys. My brother's had like little boy toys, and then hers was like a really detailed and exquisite kitchen set up with like gingerbread houses and stuff. And then I think my dad's was maybe more like cabin-y, but they were all so detailed and so precious, and I absolutely loved them. And I feel like it was such a fun memory from growing up. And so I'm really hoping that with these stockings, I can kind of have something a little bit magical too for my kids. I don't have the ability to make them as detailed as her cross-stitched ones were, but I'm hoping that with this pocket, it'll be kind of a fun place to kind of put little treasures like a stuffed animal or a candy cane or something, and kind of give us that little extra magical element. I did want to mention, before I started making these, I did wash all of my fabric so that it would be shrunk to the size that it was going to be, and that I didn't have to worry about that after and having it affect the design of the stockings.
How's that sound?
Sounds good. So I'm not really going with any sort of rhyme or reason here.
No, you don't want to, because you want to make it.
I want to make it a little wild, I suppose. My goodness. I did want to mention that if you are trying to make an equilateral triangle quilt or something else to that effect, you are supposed to be sewing with the stretch of the fabric all kind of lined up and going the same direction. I am not going to be taking that into consideration here. It's fine for me if it stretches a little bit, but in order for your fabric to just kind of hold up well over time, it's probably a good idea to do that. But since this is just going to be used once a year as the stocking, I didn't care that much. But I did want to mention it in case you guys wanted to do a project yourself. I think it's kind of cute. Get in there. I think quilters deserve more credit than they are normally given. This was incredibly challenging, trying to line up the fabric and get it to be where the colors weren't in the exact same spot. I think there ended up being about 2 spots where my colors lined up in the whole swath, but I didn't do a ton of planning ahead of time to make sure that it worked, but it was a little bit frustrating because it wasn't just working as I was hoping it would. So yeah, I did have some spots line up with the same colors, and what I was kind of just hoping is that when I go to cut out the actual stockings, I'll just kind of avoid those sections and cut so that it's not really all that noticeable, so maybe like along the edge. So I just kind of worked out to make sure that I had more fabric going the other directions so that I could cut the stocking wide. little teddy bear. Cute. On. Sure, that'd be great, probably.
I'm not trying.
I guess. Yeah.
No, I think it's James's.
Kill me.
Did he let you put some?
Yes, he did.
It's just, you know.
So once I had the stocking cut out, I chose a thinner batting and started sewing that to the front. I just followed all of my seams down, and then I also put some batting on the back, which I chose to just do a solid piece of one of the colors from my stocking and just kind of follow every few lines to attach that. Really kind of one of my only quilting projects I've ever done. We could do them in that brown.
This one?
Yeah. Would that look cute?
Mm-hmm.
I had to jump locations as I forgot to film this when I was actually doing it at her house. But for the pocket, you take 2 of the same size square, sew them together on all edges except for one little, like maybe an 1.5 inch gap kind of in the middle of the pocket on one of the sides. And then line that up where the gap is going to be on the bottom of the pocket. Those raw edges should naturally kind of fold under onto themselves, and then you're going to attach it to the stocking by doing a top stitch, starting at the top of the pocket, going down the side, across the bottom, and then back up to the top. And then that should give you a really nice clean pocket, and it will also secure the hole that was the gap from where you flipped it, and this will just give it a really nice clean look. There will be no raw edges showing on the pocket. And obviously, if you can draw a straight line better than I can, it will probably look even better than mine. But that's where that hole was. And as you can see, it's all sewed up nice and tight. Now it's time to finally assemble the stocking. So with the right sides of our stocking together, so the sides that will be shown on the outside, you're going to place those facing each other. And then starting at the top of one side, go all the way around the bottom. And then you're going to also sew the lining, but you're going to leave a big gap at the toe of the lining because that's where you're going to shove all your fabric through. Once your outside pieces are connected, you can flip them through. Make sure that all the seams are sewn shut so that you don't have any holes, and if you do, go back and sew them again. If you forgot to leave a gap like I did, you can cut it off and you'll be fine. Right here. So now there's a little hole to pull everything through. But we're going to take our stocking, line it up the way that it would go with this, and I'm going to kind of roll him up and sandwich him in this lining here. And I just want to make sure that my toe is pointing the correct direction. Like that. And now I got to line up the tops and bottoms. Sink him down. And line up my seams here. Okay. Now with this, I'm going to fold it down with my seam on the inside, and then we're going to sneak it into this sandwich. I want my hangers to be right on this corner, so we're going to tuck it in like that, and I'm going to pull him out just slightly so that I don't lose him. And then I'm going to line up everybody, and this is a really thick section, so I'm going to have to kind of go slow through it. And then try to flatten out this guy as best as we can. Kind of popped out a little. Nope. Going through our toe opening. We're gonna just shimmy everybody out. Because this is the lining of the inside of the stocking, I don't really care if it looks funky, but you can always kind of fold that in. Okay, and then this guy needs to go in our stocking. So we're just going to kind of wiggle him in. Here. Perfect. Now the stockings are all finished, and they turned out to be just as fun and traditional looking and special as I was hoping that they would. And I can't wait to use these for the next several years to come. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.